And welcome back to Aging Well. I'm Nathan Lamb, and with me today is my guest, Marie Mazzeo.
Thank you for having me, Nathan. Happy to talk about what we have going on.
Oh, it's great to have you here. In this segment, I was hoping to talk about ways people can get involved with SCES volunteerism. And I guess the good place to start there would be talking about which volunteer programs could use help at this point in time.
Absolutely. And one quick note, too, is that we have some one-day opportunities. And one of those one-day opportunities is Brown Bag. It's every second Tuesday of the month. It's at the Arts for the Armory building, 191 Highland Avenue. And difficult to get volunteers sometimes, so we try to get corporate companies to come on board because it's during the daytime hours. So it's from 8 till about 11. And a lot of our older adults are volunteers, and that's one program that wouldn't exist without volunteers helping. And people that qualify get once a month a bag of groceries. We have our other one-day opportunity coming up, Thanksgiving Meals on Wheels delivery. It's the only day Meals on Wheels drivers have the day off, and volunteers come in on Thanksgiving morning, and teams of 2 go out and deliver hot meals to clients that have no place to go or are bedridden and can't go out. And we're happy to say that not only do the clients get a meal, but their pets get meals as well. Even if they have fish and a bird, we don't discriminate against what somebody considers a pet. We do a holiday bagging in December. This goes out to some of our more isolated Meals on Wheels clients that can't get out, so that the Meals on Wheels drivers are dropping off a bag of holiday cheer. You know, we have office volunteers too that come in during the weeks and help with things that need to get done, mailings. So there's a lot of ways to get involved. Some of our programs that are in desperate need are, again, our escort program and medical escort, because most of our clients that need to go to the doctors during the week. So you figure, you know, again, as we're living longer, most people are working longer. We have a lot of energy and desire to stay working. So people are retiring much later. So we don't have as many people available during the daytime to be able to help some of the clients go to and from medical appointments. We're lucky sometimes some people will hear about this program, and maybe they have flexible working schedules, and they're willing to give some time one day a week to helping in this program. I just interviewed somebody that said in October their work schedule is changing and they're going to have Fridays off. And we're so desperate for volunteers in that program that we are definitely taking her on just to help us get clients to and from medical appointments on Fridays. Our medical advocate program, it's a wonderful program. If there's anybody that you know out there that could use a volunteer helping this older adult navigate with medication and at doctor's appointments, you know, I mean, we get nervous when we're going to the doctors, especially if we're not feeling good. So picture people that have ongoing illnesses. It gets overwhelming. We don't want them to give up on feeling that they can't get better. We want them to really feel and go in there and talk to their doctor and, you know, get recommendations for other types of medications that could benefit or therapies that might make them feel better. So, and volunteers that have that compassion to empower clients in their medical appointments is another need. Money management, we can always use money management volunteers. There's bill payers, rep payees, and learning more about that program is just a phone call away to get on board there.
And the rep payee, that's when the person actually needs to have somebody pay bills on their behalf.
Yes, because maybe somebody is being financially exploited, and we want to make sure that that checkbook isn't in their hands so that people, you know, again, as we get older, we become more vulnerable to being financially exploited. And sadly, many family members and close friends are the ones that are doing it. You have somebody that's vision impaired and somebody writes out a check and they're bouncing their checking account because instead of making the check out for $30, somebody made the check out for $60, and the person signs it because they didn't see that the amount was wrong. So this is when we will put a representative payee in there. And another reason why we'll have bill payers is maybe, you know, I laugh, I have a little tremor to my hand, and I know as I'm going to get older, it's going to get worse. So having somebody that can write those checks out and the person being able to sign it is a big assistance, big assistance. And remember, our goal is to keep clients at home living the lifestyle they want with dignity. Which brings me into why the Senior Pet program is so important, because unless somebody doesn't realize, unless you're an animal lover yourself, a lot of people don't realize the relationship between people and animals. For many clients that have lost loved ones, that suffer depression or loneliness, their lives are so benefited by an animal. It's the reason to get up in the morning. If they go into the hospital, it's a reason to come home from the hospital. Many won't go to the hospital because they won't leave their pet if somebody isn't going to be able to take care of it, and it's going to be there when they come home from rehab or a hospital stay.
You're alluding to a lot of challenges of pet ownership. These are things that SeniorPet does help people with.
Absolutely. We have a client that's bedridden, and of course families members say she can't have a pet. She can't have, after her cat died, she can't have another cat. And it's not about what everybody else feels. I asked the client, what do you want? And she wanted another pet. She's bedridden. That cat would jump up on her bed and she could pet it and talk to it. And we put volunteers in there that go in there twice a week and make sure that everything is all set with the pet, you know, her being able to have it. There's so many techniques today that enable somebody to take care of their pets. Longer scooping, you know, even clients with dogs. You know, I'm working on a situation right now where people feel this client, they want to renege on his rights to have a big dog. And this dog is a support dog to him. And you know, right now I've got volunteers going in there and getting the dog out for more exercise. We can actually train the dog to walk a treadmill if they think the client can't get the dog having that much exercise. But, you know, and then the next thing is, well, we don't think the client can handle this dog. And, you know, what it just was the wrong collar. Put the dog in dog training, sent the client to the dog training to show him how to use the new collar, and he has great control with this dog. So the program, I think, has gotten bigger and beyond what anybody at Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services even thought it would touch upon. It really is a strong advocate to those clients that need somebody that truly understands the relationship between animals and people.
And people can support it through both donations and through volunteerism.
Absolutely. You know, monetary donations are always welcomed. It helps with those special things that need to be audited through prescriptions, but dropping off, you know, dried food, especially wet canned food. We don't get a lot of donations of wet cat food, and there's a lot of need because as animals, as cats age, they sometimes have difficulty eating the dry food. So we're trying to get the word out there that we could use more donations of wet food for cats. We'll be getting ready for our Thanksgiving, and we'll deliver food, so no matter what pet they have, we'll go out and purchase food for these pets as well. So monetary donations will help our Thanksgiving program purchase the food that we need. Sometimes we run out of litter, so having litter, if anybody wants to drop off litter to the agency, they can do that as well.
And the volunteerism, these are things like If somebody's worried about who will take care of their pet while they're in the hospital,
Yeah.
that's something, are those the sort of things like that,
Yes.
temporary foster care?
Yes, well, we had a client that became terminally ill, and once again, heart-wrenching, what's going to happen to my cat, you know? I mean, some are still young, but some are older, and people don't want them to see that beloved pet get put down because it's too old if it ends up in a take-all place that can't find a foster home for an older pet. And we recently had a client that passed away, and one of our staff took the cat. Susie the cat is about 13, 14 years old, and when we confirmed that we had somebody that was going to take Susie, and I was going to work out details, the client had gone into hospice, and shortly after I made the phone call to the caregiver that I was going to come and pick Susie up, the client passed away. Almost like he knew his cat was safe. And you know, it's incredible. And we have Patrice now that is going to go up on our Somerville-Cambridge Elder Service Facebook, and Kitty Connection is going to network with finding Patrice a home because her client went into hospice, and she didn't know that Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services would take her pet. She was part of the pet program, and I told her, don't you worry, you know, you're part of Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services, and Patrice is a client of Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services too, so we're not going to let anything happen to Patrice. And one of our volunteers came forward, met me at the clients, took Patrice, and is fostering Patrice now until we can get him a home. It is a him.
That is great. You are passionate about pets.
Yeah, passionate about our clients and the pets.
Absolutely. So I guess one more question before we wrap it up. What do you look for in volunteers? It sounds like your volunteers do a lot of great work. What are some of the things you're looking for when people come forward and want to be volunteers?
I think what really inspires me and motivates me is the compassion and dedication of our volunteers. I'll be working at Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services for 12 years, and some of the matches that I have done go from when I've taken over the New Friend program. Our volunteers are so committed. Compassion, understanding, good listening skills are some of the most important qualities that somebody can have in volunteering. And dedicated and committed. Most of our programs, we look for somebody that can stay for a year, but some programs will take somebody short term just to be able to get that support that's needed. And, you know, volunteers can find out what program is a good fit for them.
Absolutely. And there's also one day if they want something with a little less of a long-term commitment.
Absolutely. There's volunteering once a month, and even if that once a month time is after working hours or on a weekend, you know, we definitely have something for you to do. And I always say that 30 minutes is life-changing in some of our clients' lives. And most volunteers, once they start volunteering, it really is ever once a month. And I have volunteers that move out of the state and still keep in touch with the client. I have a volunteer that moved to Arizona and still does telephone support through the Caring Neighbors program with one of our clients.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And if people want to learn more about specific programs getting involved, we have a page on the website that lists.
We have, if you go to our website, www.eldercare.org, and you click on volunteers, all of the forms that you need to fill out are online. They get sent right into the volunteer programs and process those applications. We need to have a government photo ID. All of our programs, our volunteers are Corey cleared, so definitely that's something that needs to be done. And we do registry of motor vehicle checks. If somebody doesn't have a good driving record, they can't put any of our clients in a vehicle. And one other thing that I forgot to say about our escort program, the medical escort program, is that you don't need to have a car. Okay, so having a car is a plus, but you don't need to have a car either. With our clients, we do provide transportation.
Definitely good to know.
Yes.
On that note, I think we're going to wrap it up. You've been a fabulous guest today. Thank you so much for coming on Aging Well. Thanks again for joining us today. We'll be back soon with another episode of Aging Well. Till then, take care. Thanks again.